Saturday, December 19th already. And I was about to say good morning, but that is completely out of context because it is afternoon here now, and you might not even be watching this in the morning. It could be an afternoon or an evening, or it might be morning. So hello. I have totally been unable to film as much as I've wanted to over the last couple of weekends and weeks. Think I've got like a little bit of content here and there, but the days have been fast and long all at the same time. Work has been insanely busy, and playing catch up over the weekends with housework and laundry and relaxing and whatnot. So it's not really anything super entertaining. I'm just saying hi to Sullivan here. Come here. Come say hello. Come say hello. Hi. He keeps trying to get a Christmas tree. He's good. Yeah, so we just went to Costco and stocked up a whole bunch of different goodies for Christmas. I feel very prepared now, other than some fresh vegetables and fruit. We stayed away from the junk food, which was great, other than a couple bags of chips. There's not a lot of chocolate. I'll probably do a little bit of baking, but being healthy this year, just because we're not going very far. And yeah, it's like I said, I just really wished I had been able to film more, but life has been very uneventful. There has been very minimal Christmas activity happening. We did get our tree, as you can see behind me, and decorated it. I decorated the mantle, but other than that, I think, yeah, the last time I filmed was the day that I created the Christmas wreaths, and that has been about as Christmassy as I have gotten. I'm hungry, so I'm going to heat up some jambalaya that we had left over from last night. And my husband is outside. He's waiting for someone to come and pick up a welder. I think he sold one of his welders. So I'll heat that up and get some food into us before that happens. And this afternoon, I'm hoping to kind of wrap up some Christmas presents, and I have some other things that I need to really tackle for my knitting projects. My project bags are everywhere. I am feeling scattered and unorganized, and I have no idea of what's in what bag or anything like that. So I'm gonna take you along with that, hopefully. All right, we've had a bite to eat. I feel so much better. I definitely get to that stage of hangry where it's been too long since you've eaten and you're getting shaky, and you need some food for not only your stomach but your attitude as well. So I used to, during COVID lockdown, when I was off for 3 months, I did a whole bunch of sourdough bread baking, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I was baking loaves and giving them away to family and friends and everything, but as soon as I basically got back to work, it was way too hard to keep up with the baking of the bread. If you've made sourdough before, you know it's a process, right? And you can't just like make a loaf start to finish in a day. It takes a couple of days. And so I tucked my, pardon me, jambalaya was spicy. I tucked my sourdough starter at the back of our fridge, and when we got our new one, I found it, and it had this dark kind of gray film on top, which was fine, but then the rest of the sourdough was hard as a rock. And so I'm thinking June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, so that's like 5-6 months that it was sitting in the back of the fridge. No, that's a lie. That was, anyway, it's been a few months because I did bake kind of in the fall, but it's been a few months that it was sitting there, and it was gross. And I just thought, I can either make a new starter from scratch, or I can just message my girlfriend and say, hey, help me, send me some starter. So she dropped off some starter the other day. There's another gal down the road that asked if I had any, and I said, yes, I do. So I fed it and separated it and whatnot. Long story short, I am going to get a couple loaves going for the holidays for myself and for some family and whatnot. And so I'm going to take you along the process of what I do to make what I call the levain. The online course that I took was wonderful. It's from the Sourdough Schoolhouse, and I'll put that on the bottom here. I do believe you can still pay and do the course. You have to look into that. I'll link the the website as well, but she was offered a free 101 course over the COVID lockdown. I did that, and I think I paid for her extended one as well. And if you are aware, pretty much everyone was making sourdough during the COVID lockdown in the spring. So I really got into it. I really loved it, and I'm missing some sourdough. I think it'd just be a wonderful treat with some baked garlic and brie and some yummy crunchy sandwiches, leftover turkey or something, right? So I'm going to show you what I do and just kind of bring you along with that process. So here we go. Okay, so you want a kitchen scale. I just have a Starfrit. I think I got it from Canadian Tire. I don't mind this one. There are better ones that you can get that don't turn off after a little bit. This doesn't bother me too much. So this, I made sure it's on grams, I zero it out. I like to use my glass bowl. Just find it's easier to clean for sure. So then you put that on there. Hit zero again. Okay, so this recipe for my levain, I'm going to be using 27 grams of sourdough starter. So this is my starter. So it's very ripe today. Really hungry, so it's gonna be loving this. You only need 27 grams. 24, 25, 27 on the dot. Look at that. So I have all this extra now. That's okay. 27 grams, so then I'm gonna hit zero again. Now it wants 135 grams of water. I just use tap water and a little bit warmer. $135 grams of water. Now at this point I like to just give it a bit of a stir. I find when the starter is really mixed up, it just does better. I don't know. And like I said, the water is just a little bit warmer. Okay, so 135 grams of water. Hit my zero again. And now I need 135 grams of, this calls for organic bread flour. I just use my Rogers white. I mean, if you go a little over, a little under, it's not the end of the world. I just have had a little bit of experience and getting it almost perfect. 135 grams of flour. There we go. So now I'm gonna take it off my scale, turn that off. And as you can see, you see? Yeah, I've got my water and my starter and my flour. And so I'm just gonna mix all this together. Some different recipes or some different bakers, I guess you can say, will tell you not to use metal. No metal spoons, anything like that. I don't mind it. For this part, I just find it so much easier to clean off than anything wooden. Okay. So there is my very yummy sourdough levain. Now what you do with this, so make sure you don't have any dry bits, no extra white bits, and just kind of leave it. Tea towel. And depending on when I'm going to be doing the rest of the process, you like to want it to sit for at least 6 to 12 hours in advance before you do anything else. So it is, what time is it now? Like 1 or 2, I think. So I will let this sit probably until this evening, and then I will start the second process. And if not, I might even let this sit overnight and see what it does to really, it's gonna like get way bigger, which is awesome. So yeah, I'm gonna cover this over and put it in a nice tight corner of my kitchen and come back to it later. Okay, so that is all done. I have quite a bit of starter here. As you can kind of see, there's my line. It's very, very sour. Like it's got almost like a pungent smell to it. What I'm gonna do is I have about half a cup here. I might make muffins with this or something. I might just put it in the fridge and use it for a little bit later. What I did was I actually took some of that starter and I fed it. So what I do is I take 5 grams of the starter. That's all you need, 5 grams. And I did 25 grams of water and 25 grams of flour. And as you can kind of see here, there's not much in there, but she's got that smell to it. It's gonna love the flour. I just use one of these I got them from Canadian Tire. They fit right on your mason jar. You never want to tighten your mason jar really, really tight. You just want to let it sit on top so that the yeast can get in there. You can even use like a cheesecloth or something. But I just set it on top because it will actually pop it off if you don't. And so I just let this sit on the counter and kind of do its thing while my levain is growing and getting all those yummy yeasty bits and the gluten broken down for me. So I hope you had fun watching that little bit. So a little bit of an update on my puzzle roll. I've had a few different people comment or message me and ask me what I thought of it. So if you watched, I think it was the first Vlogmas that I did, I purchased one of these Ravensburg puzzle mats. So it came with this and this felt mat. Originally, I thought that I would want to have that poster board underneath. And in fact, I did that for a bit, but when I rolled it up, and I can't remember, I think it was Jean, had mentioned that I should probably clip the poster board down because in fact it did roll and I lost a ton of pieces that I'd done. But here's a little update of my puzzle. I haven't gotten very far at all, but I'm really looking forward to just a cup of tea and some Christmas music and sitting down and working on this for a little while. Okay, I made a little bit of progress. If anything, I just got a lot of the stuff that was outside of the puzzle inside and kind of placed them where they belong. Coming along, but you can only do it for so long. But there's definitely something about listening to Christmas music, sipping on a spicy cup of chai tea, and working on this puzzle that just makes me so happy and feel so festive and relaxed. Okay, so hello. Somebody needs some attention. This is our sweet dog Copper. He's such a good boy. Can you maybe lay down? Can you lay down? Yeah, sure. I'll move this. Are you gonna go on your bed? Oh, good boy. Oh my goodness. My animals need all of my attention today, apparently. So, one of the presents that I decided to do this year is actually headed off to our family that lives in Cranbrook. And we normally will get to see them at Christmas time. This year with COVID, we're unable to, obviously. They were here visiting end of October, so we got to see them then and the kids. I was just trying to find something really fun that they would all enjoy and something that they would be able to use pretty much every year for Christmas. So I came up with the idea. I don't think I've seen this anywhere before, and I'm trying not to copy it from anybody, obviously, but I would love if other people took this idea and ran with it. I've created a snowman kit. Now I understand, being the 19th of December, we are already missing the deadline to get it there via Canada Post. So this is gonna be more of like a winter present for them, unfortunately. Like I said, work has been crazy. So I went and got this box. It's kind of a Christmassy box, not too much crazy. I think it was, what, $2 at our dollar store? So I got this box. And this, my idea is, it's gonna be their snowman kit. So then I went and found a top hat. And I made sure that I could crunch the top hat down and fit it in the box, and it would still puff back up and look great. So a little top hat. Can you see where I'm going with this? my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I got a top hat. Oh, isn't that just lovely? Then I figured I would find a plastic carrot. Now I can't hold that there for very long. I found a pipe, plastic pipe. Can you see where I'm going? I went to our local thrift store and I got a lovely red pashmina scarf. I could have knit one, but this is to go outside, folks, so give me a second. So that, there was like a snowman kit that you could get at the $1 store. So there's, for the mouth, so for the mouth, for the eyes, I don't know if I have everything in here. Yeah, there's 2 eyes, the pipe, so I wish I could hold everything for you. So you have the carrot nose, the pipe, the eyes, the mouth, the buttons. Then I figured, yes, we got the scarf. Every snowman needs arms. So I went and found this plastic wired kind of fake stick. So I thought 2 of those, and I've got them bent up already, for the arms. And what else have I got? Oh, and the pipe, yeah. So then I got all of that ready to go in this box. So it's all gonna fit in the box. Everything's gonna be tucked in there. And of course, you always need hot chocolate after you make a snowman. So I've got the hot chocolate in there, the carrot, the pipe, 2 eyes, buttons, whoop, the mouth, 2 arms, the scarf, and the hat. And so I've made a snowman kit. I'm really excited that they're gonna be able to open this up hopefully after Christmas. They don't have a lot of snow there right now as it is, but I just thought this would be a super fun tradition. All these things are specific for the snowman. They will last a little bit longer, and the kids are turning, well, my nephew he'll be 4 in February. Our niece just turned 2 in September, and then there's a little one on the way at the end of March. And so I just thought this would be a wonderful family tradition. They can have their snowman winter kit all ready to go every year with the Christmas stuff. So I just think it's really fun. I'm really excited to see them open it, and excited to get pictures of the snowman. So I thought that that was fun, something that anyone could do as long as you have snow. I'm gonna make up a little like how to build a snowman booklet drawing thing for them as well, and tuck that in there and ship it off so that hopefully it will get there right after Christmas time. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm taking this hat off now. Okay, good morning. It is Sunday, December 20th today. I didn't do any other filming yesterday after I left off, but got lots of stuff done, and I'm excited to show you today. So this is my sourdough levain. If you can remember from yesterday, we mixed it all up, and it has grown substantially. You can even see there's some bubbles happening through there. So this is ready to go into the next part of my sourdough loaf. I've also got my starter to show you. I'll get that to focus a little bit. So that, obviously, see all those healthy, awesome bubbles? That has grown a lot as well. Starting to smell kind of sour again, so that's great. That's what I did yesterday was I said 5 grams of my starter and 25 grams of flour, 25 grams of water. And that's all you need, because when you actually go to make your levain, you only need, I think it's 27 grams of that to make this. So a lot of stuff that you see, someone will feed their starter and they will just take this full amount and they will add to that. They will add like 100 grams of water, 100 grams of flour. And just think of this as like a small baby is what I've been taught. And you don't need to feed it a lot. And it has the power to grow crazy. So just feed it just a little bit. You do not ever need too much starter. And if anything, you are just throwing money down the drain or into the compost, however you do it, because you're losing your flour essentially when you're doing that. So I'm going to prepare my, get my loaf ready to go for the folding process that I'm gonna do today. So again, I am using the Pain Au Bel recipe from the Sourdough Schoolhouse. This is just the one that I was taught. It was a free preview promo when everything was locked down for COVID in March. So this is what I've been using. I do believe there's still a free Sourdough 101 baking course, and again, I will link that down below. But I'm just gonna get my ingredients ready to go, and I'll show you how I mix it together. So again, I've got my kitchen scale here, so I'm gonna turn that on and use this, zero it out. So it calls for 270 grams of levain. Next, I need 495 grams of water. So I have this great big, they ask for a proofing bucket. I use this great big tub here because that's what works best for me. So I put that there. And I'm actually going to use this bowl that my levain was in, just to get all the last bit out of there. So it calls for 495 grams of water. And again, I use a little bit warmer, 454. There we go. And then, I don't use milk in mine, but it actually calls for 90 grams of milk. And so what you would do there is sub another 80 grams of water for milk. So I have done it in the summertime where just the temperature is different, the humidity level in your house, all that. But I just like to get all this yummy starter out of here. So then I'm gonna add all this to my proofing bucket. It says to save about 25 grams of the liquid. So normally that would have been my milk and water, but I'm just using water. So 25 grams of my liquid to add with the salt later. So then I'm going to add this levain. Yes, you get a lot of very sticky dishes. So add the levain. Levain, I don't know. And again, just like I did my starter yesterday, I just like to mix this up in the water to really get a good consistency. Okay, so now I've just weighed out my 900 grams of flour, and I pre-weigh this just because you can't really take it back once you put it in here. And then pour it in, and at this point it's kind of hard to mix in this tub specifically. As you can see, a lot gets on the sides. I don't go crazy with the mixing at this stage. says to mix it till there is no dry bits left. So I just kind of use my spatula, go around. It is not going to look like dough at this stage, and it is very important to remember. Do not add more water, do not add more flour, just trust the process of the sourdough. So you can see already that gluten is starting to make some chains, get kind of flaky. Okay, so there you can see I have very minimal dry bits left. I could get in here with my hands, but I know I'm not done. So I'm just going to put my lid on this and cover it up, and I let it sit for about 30 minutes because my next step is adding salt. This is called the autolyze process. So zero that out. 20 grams of salt. And so mix that all in, let it dissolve, and set my timer for 30 minutes, and I'll come back and add that to my dough. Okay, so my husband just left to go and take a bunch of garbage and recycling to the dump. And he took our dog with him, which I thought was a perfect opportunity to tackle his dog bed. I'm gonna take everything off of it and put the cushion outside to get some fresh air. Her cat, as you can see, has been underneath our tree again, playing with the few presents that we have put out, and just gonna give everything a really good clean while I'm waiting for my sourdough for that half hour. Okay, there. That is so much better. I definitely need to wrap some more presents. Our tree looks so very sparse this year. But we did send a lot away already, so that's why I'm gonna take this opportunity just to show a few of the special ornaments on our tree. So this is a knitted little acorn that I did last year from one of my, I think it was like a 12 days Advent calendar kind of thing that my husband got me. Here's a little cross-stitch stocking my mom made years and years ago. Usually she puts the date on it, but I don't see it on this one. Way up here, this is the round from the bottom of our very first Christmas tree together in 2013. So I love that one so much. Little hat mom knit last year. What else do we have on here? Oh yes. This is such an old antique ornament that I got from my grandma and grandpa. My one mother-in-law and I have two, I'm very lucky that way. We just started doing a origami challenge, and one of the ones the other day was a paper crane. So there's my paper crane. Several years ago I crocheted a whole bunch of snowflakes and gifted them to our family. Lots of memories on the tree. That's what I absolutely love about it. These glass drops are new this year. Not everything made it to the tree, but quite a bit did. I love this birch star garland. Oh, and the culprit is back. Maybe not. Hi, Sullivan. Are you gonna go put more needles into the tree? Psst, psst. Little turkey. Anyway, just a few of the special things on our tree this year. And I'm hoping to knit an angel for the top. Hey, psst, I just vacuumed that. Just get out of here. Okay, I took the opportunity while I had the vacuum out, of course, to just give the rest of the house a really good vacuum. It wasn't too bad yet. Last weekend I was able to deep clean the whole house pretty much, bathrooms and everything, so it wasn't too long ago that I did a good vacuum, but with a dog and a cat and a husband and me and yarn, I just thought it was a good idea to run through again. I've recently got the mantle decorated for the holidays. My little knitting corner. I just love a tidy house, and that I need to deal with. This is my, I'm gonna call it my catch-all trolley for upstairs. There is numerous knitting projects in here, folded laundry, my started angel, lots of project bags, just stuff. So one of my goals before the end of maybe the weekend, maybe Christmas holidays, is to go through this. And in here, do I even dare show you what's in here? Even more, ooh, little stash of treats, but even more project bags and knitting that just needs some TLC and organization. So it's kind of my catch-all. I roll it around out of sight, out of mind for the most part. But look at my nice, tidy, cozy living room. Not for long. If you've been following me from somewhat at the beginning, you might know that my husband and I actually bought our place in July of 2019. So we've been here for about a year, and we did a huge renovation to our home like 18 days after we took possession, before we moved in. So I'll see if I can put a picture up of what it looked like before. We've done a ton of work. It's not even done. There needs to be trim on the windows. We need to replace the windows. I'd like to do a new mantle, something different there. Hardly anything on the walls at the moment. And then my absolute arch nemesis is my kitchen. So we were saving up to renovate our kitchen, and it was going to happen this past spring, summer. And then of course COVID hit and I was off work, and just, it was not important. Money went elsewhere. And so this is the kitchen that we have right now. I have huge plans of what I'm gonna do, and I expand it out, use part of our dining room. But for now, it works, it runs. We have running water, we have a stove. We did get our new fridge. And that's the best I can do for now. It's okay. It's not beautiful, but one day I will have a wonderful, beautiful kitchen with much more counter space. So now I'm actually going to, my timer just went off, so I'm going to add my salt slurry to my dough. Okay, so I actually put on my apron for this one, for my pinny, my lovely little dirty apron that I made, just because this part gets a bit messy. So I'm gonna open this up, and as you can see, nothing really has changed too much. It has changed consistency a little bit, and it's got that aroma of sourdough. So I'm just gonna get my hands wet, because at this stage you actually start getting a little bit dirtier. So I normally use a less harsh, or that's not the right word, a less abrasive salt, but this is just the one that I had. So I'm gonna pour that in there, just like that. And this is when you are able to get just a little bit dirty. So now what you're going to do, and you can even take it out of the bin for this. I just find that dough is one of the hardest things to clean up. So taking my rings off. Probably should have vacuumed after this part. And all you're gonna do is start breaking up those gluten, I don't even know how to say it, gluten bonds that have started to form, and just fold it into itself a few times. Get some of this extra dough off the bottom of my bin. I really need to invest in like more of a bucket that's not so laid out, but this is what the stores had in the spring when I was looking. Okay. So yeah, I just really want to incorporate that salt. Kind of see the stickiness is starting. That is okay. Again, the first time I did this, I was very worried it was too wet. I added more flour. I completely ruined my loaf. And you just want to get those gluten, I don't know the right word for it anymore. So out of touch. But, so, now we have a bit of a ball. Just gonna leave it just like that. There's a ton of dough still on the bottom here, but what we do now is called the bulk fermentation. So we do 3 to 4 turns or folds over a process of 4 to 5 hours. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to do my first turn in about half an hour, just because this is going to change quite drastically, and I'll take you along for the ride. And then an hour later, I'm going to do another one. An hour and a half later, I'm going to do another one. I'm around home for the most of the day today, I think. And if not, I actually just take it with me. So wash my hands and set my timer. Put my lid back on. It's important for it to be nice and warm. If you have a fairly cool home, you can put it in your oven with the light on. Because I'm home today, the temperature is a little bit higher. So just get that nice seal. You can see my dough is in there. I'm gonna leave it on my counter and let it sit for, like I said, about half an hour. Okay, it has been an hour, and look at my sourdough. So I'm just gonna get my hands wet again. And now what I want to do, this is really, really sticky, but that's okay. So I'm gonna pick it up and fold it in half and turn it and pick it up, stretch, fold. Pick it up. It's okay if it comes out, stretch, fold. You can see maybe starting to come up off the bottom up there. So already it's less sticky than that first time. Pick it up, stretch, fold. And then what I like to do is just all my folds down to the bottom, just like that. My lid on and wait another hour. Okay, so it's been a couple of hours. I've already done another turn. As you can see, this dough is really starting to take shape. So again, my hands are wet. Just going to work on getting it off the bottom, and look at that. One fold, 3. And then I'm actually gonna get a little bit more. As you can see, almost all my dough is off the bottom of my bin here. It's only gonna get better, but I'm just going to try and get some of those pieces up. And then my last fold, a really great big stretch into a ball, tuck all down to the bottom. Look at that beautiful piece of dough. There we go. A little bit of condensation starting to show on my lid. That's a good sign. Close it up for another hour. I just about finished my little booklet for the snowman kit. So I'm just chuckling away. I think I'm just loving the process of making this so much more than I expected to. So how to build a snowman. Step 1, get your snowman kit. Step 2, find snow. Out the window. Step 3, roll 3 balls, small, medium, and large. Step 4, stack them. Step 5, give him a face. Eyes, carrot nose, and a mouth. Step 6, give him arms, 2 sticks. Step 7, get him dressed, scarf and buttons. Step 8, give him his hat and pipe. Step 9, take a picture and send it to Auntie and Uncle. Step 10, make hot chocolate. Step 11, admire your snowman outside. So that is the little booklet that I made to go along. All I had for coloring was these roller pens, which is the best that I could do, but now I'm going to bind the edge somehow or just tie a little ribbon in there and then tuck that away, and I'll wrap it all up, get their address on it, and that will be ready to ship off tomorrow morning. So I've just had a really nice hot shower and I've got some laundry on the go. Dinner is, I don't know where dinner is yet for the evening, but I thought I would sit down for a little bit, catch up on some Vlogmases because I'm very, very far behind, but I also really enjoy kind of binge watching a few different days in a row. And yeah, just gonna get caught up on my Advent socks. So I am only on, I think this is like the 16th stripe. So I'm a little bit behind, but at the same time, I have pretty small feet. And I don't think, let me just take this out here. I don't think I will need to use the full skein that I have. Like, there's still a ton of yarn left here. So I've just done kind of my own version of a sock, a 2x2 rib. I've continued the rib for the top of the foot, heel flap and gusset, and then just the standard on the bottom. But yeah, just looking at where the sock sits on me now, it's already, I have such small feet. It's already almost halfway up my sole of my foot. So I'm just kind of slowly picking away at these. I definitely will be done before Christmas, which is great because I kind of need these needles to cast on another pair of socks for my husband. But I'm really enjoying this new Advent tradition for myself. I was a couple days behind, so I got caught up and did the heel flap and gusset on both. And yeah, it's hard to only knit one stripe a day, and I'm really happy I'm doing 2 at a time. I can't wait to show you Mom's. Hers look absolutely incredible. She's using that dark red color for the cuff and the heels and the toes from Scrumptious Pearl, and it just looks amazing, very Christmassy. So here I am, gonna cozy up and just kind of relax for a little bit. My husband is still outside in the shop. It's getting a little bit cool and windy. It's actually, we have a snowfall warning for the next 24 hours or so. I should say it starts in the next day, and we're calling for over 20 centimeters of snow, and I'm really excited for that. So just gonna cozy up and enjoy a quiet afternoon on the couch, and I'm sure that sweet little fur baby over there will end up on my lap eventually. Okay, so my dough has been folded 5 times now, and I could keep going because the evening is not over, but I would like to get it shaped and into my bread basket before dinner so that I can just let it sit overnight. This is called a banneton. I just got this on Amazon. I actually haven't used this one yet. You can also just use a bowl with a cloth inside. And what you want to do is completely coat this in flour, because you do not want your dough to stick to this inside here. So you can use a different type of flour that you've been using in your bread. However, I've never really had too much of a problem. So I'm gonna do that, dump it back into my sifter. I'm gonna sift it in one more time and really get up into the edges. Just like that. Okay, now I'm gonna get a little bit on my counter. I'm gonna get my dough out of my proofing bin. There are many different ways to shape your loaf. You just kind of want to get some air happening. I just like to fold one more time, really, really good. All of my centers in. Turn it over, nice and tight. See that I've already got nice air bubbles happening here. There we go. And then time in, time in, and then I'm going to essentially roll it. Okay. More flour. So now you can use your, I can't even remember what this is called, a shaper. I don't mind it. I just find I'm very much a hands-on person. And so I just really enjoy feeling the dough in my hands. So this is the final shape. So this is important. And I'll show you how this works too. You can kind of spread and scoop. Spread and scoop. But yeah, like I said, it's not really a big thing. I just really enjoy handling it, I guess you can say. One more flour from my hands. So you want it to be fairly sticky, actually, because what you're doing is you are causing tension across the surface of the dough. So you want it to be sticky, but not completely sticky. So by tucking all of these spaces underneath, you're causing that tension across the surface of the dough. See how nice and smooth and tight that's getting? So now I'm doing it in a boule shape, is what it's called. It's just the shape of my bannock and the shape of my Dutch oven as well. I'm really enjoying the look of this. It just looks so good. Okay. So now, when you feel satisfied with the shape of your loaf, I give it another good smooth dusting, tuck those last little corners underneath. Look how awesome that looks. You see? Then it's gonna go a little bit wider, longer, just because that's the shape of my bannock. Okay, so I'm quite happy with that. I wouldn't mind it to be a little bit smoother, but this is okay. So what I'm gonna do now is just plop it into my bannock. And you might have a little bit of open spaces here. That's okay. Give it another good sift of flour on top. And then you put it in a bag and seal it up. And this is gonna go in my fridge overnight, and I will get ready to bake it tomorrow after work. All right, I'm just doing my final edit of the evening. I'm going to get the video ready to upload to YouTube. And as I was finishing, I just realized I didn't really have a good night or a goodbye at the end. So this is what it is now. I hope you enjoyed and found a little bit of fun or inspiration throughout my vlog over the weekend. I know it was sporadic and a little bit everywhere, but I had fun filming, and it was really, really awesome to get back into making sourdough. I will bake the loaf at the end of my day tomorrow, and I'll make sure that I share that here as well. So thanks again for watching along, and I hope you have a wonderful next few days leading up to Christmas.